Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Johnston here of Own Your Creativity. And I'm here today with Julie Hood, who is the course creator guru. She's got this great 24-hour course creator program, which I think we'll talk about at some point or not. But just to let you know that she's awesome. So, Julie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be doing what you do today.
Yeah, so I was one of those corporate girls that didn't like being in corporate. So when my son was born, he was a terrible, terrible sleeper. So I stepped away and I wanted to work from home. So I've been working from home now for 20 years and
Wow.
yeah, long time. A lot of it spent helping other experts build their businesses and learning behind the scenes what they are doing. So it's been really fun to kind of get some of my clients partner with some bigger folks like Tony Robbins, and so we got to work with their teams and see how everything comes together. And then in 2017 I really decided, I love working with course creators. There's something about experts and getting their message out into the world that just is my jam. And so I'm so excited. Thank you for having me today because I want to help. I know you work with a lot of authors, and I love to see authors doing well. They put their heart and soul into their books, and so let's help them do even better. So I'm excited to talk about it today.
I'm so excited that you're here too, because that's one of the things that I realized that authors often think like, okay, I'm going to put everything that I have into this book and then it's going to sell itself, and then it'll just somehow find its way into people's homes that need it. But it doesn't. And I think having a course that's connected to your book, and it can be any kind of book. It could be a nonfiction, fiction, poetry, cookbook, anything. Anything you write and put into a book form can be used as a basis of a course. So I think it's so liberating for authors to realize that that's not the end of their
Right.
journey when they publish the book. It's just the beginning, and you really help people dial in on what they need for their course. And so you have 5 things that people need to know when they're creating their courses. Can you give us a run through or just start at one and go through them?
Yeah. So the first one is one of the most important, and that's that you need to know exactly who it is that you're helping. So you want to have a very specific niche, and this has gotten through the years has gotten even more and more important because it used to be you could say, well, I help business owners. Well, that is such a huge group of people
So
that
broad.
that you will have trouble resonating with
Yeah.
specific folks. And I did this. I'll tell you all about it. I started when I was helping people get online. One day I'd get a pizza restaurant that was trying to sell more pizzas, and then the next day I'd get an author, and the next day it would be somebody that had a brick and mortar business. And it was really, really hard to market to them because they were all over the place and the language
Right.
was different and trying to resonate. And so when I narrowed in and realized, course creators that I want to talk to,
Yeah.
we talk about getting students in your classes. We don't talk about customers. We talk about we're selling courses. We're not selling your widgets or selling your pizzas or it's we're selling courses. So it really helps me with how I'm marketing. And so that's what I like to see all my course creators do is figuring
Yeah.
out, let's figure out who can you help. And sometimes I'm sure you've seen this with books too, that there's a lot of people you can help. So just pick one to start with, and let's
Yes.
pick that group. We're going to focus on that group and see if you like working with that group or not. And then you
Yeah.
can always do some more groups and focus on them, but pick one to start with. So that's
I
the
think
first thing.
that's so important. And it's even when you're writing your book, it's like, who are you writing the book for? That's one of the key things that you have to figure out. And actually, speaking about like marketing and who your avatar is and all that, James just popped in and said hello to us. James Lamb, look from
Hey, James.
Look Ahead Marketing. But yeah, that's so important is figuring out who you want to attract, because when you focus on one person, then other people are going to think, okay, well, I'm not that person, but I really want what that course is offering.
Right.
And so they will self-identify. So I think, just don't worry that like, oh, I'm leaving some people out. invite the people, direct your course to the people that you absolutely adore and love and know that you can help immediately. And the others will trickle in.
Yes, they'll find you, and they'll find you as your messaging grows and you get out there. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about people always worry, oh, but I'm ignoring people. You don't have to worry about that. You'll get to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
What's the
really
second
good.
one?
So you need a really specific result or transformation that your students have when they get to the end. And you'd think this would be obvious, but sometimes we do like a more general kind of thing, how to do marketing. Well, that's pretty general. Why don't you teach me how to create a landing page and get more subscribers? Because that more specificness of the transformation, number one, it makes it easier for you to create the course because you know exactly what you're going to teach and what your students need to be able to do by the end of it. And it keeps the course from turning into this monster big course, which, we all do it. We want to share everything we know and like really give people lots and lots of content. And I was reading an article the other day that said when somebody wants to improve something, most of the time they think they need to add to improve it. But actually, what is better and is harder, but is to be able to narrow down and say, this is the essential pieces of it. And Steve Jobs has a really good quote about that too. He talked about how the hard part is knowing what to eliminate and what to get rid of and what's essential. So figuring out, yeah, he was, he put his dent in the universe for us, thank goodness. And so, the figuring that specific results you're going to give, that's where you need to start so that you can really wrap your head around, this is what my course is going to do.
Yeah. And I think that being able to just focus in on the detail that right now that's going to move the dial forward for you. It's not, because there's 100 zillion things that we could be doing, but we're not built like that. We're only built to do one thing at a time. And so if you can just focus in on that and narrow that down, then the other step just naturally flows into your field of vision to be dealt with.
Exactly. And I was working with an author last year and she had a really great book. And originally we were trying to think about how she could turn her book into a course. And so we sort of put an outline together and we realized at one point that what was really needed was just a section on meditation. We didn't need to do the whole book and all 6 steps of her whole thing. What she really wanted to start with was doing these meditations and sharing those with people. So sometimes it's just a portion of your book that can then turn into a course or a mini course or a paid course. And so figuring that out, and that's what I'm excited, because next week we're going to talk about how a lot of these things can happen for folks.
Well, and that's so exciting as well, because now if she has 6 parts of her book, they all can lead into at some point a different course. So like first is the meditation course, and then step 2, the Nexus course could be this, and so you've got 6 courses out of one book. That's awesome.
Yes. And lots of revenue. Can I say that? It's always fun to kind of make money.
Oh yeah. Especially if you're self-published.
Yes. Well, when I started, actually, way back in the day, I did an ebook was my very first thing. This was before Facebook, before YouTube. Like, this is a long time ago. And I worked with the St. Louis Publishers Association. And I remember feeling badly because all of the self-publishers, they worked so hard and poured their heart and souls into these amazing books. They were fabulous books. And then they get to the part where they'd sell them for $10 or $15. And it was really hard to make that a good revenue. So that's why I like to kind of head some of my authors. Let's add this in and get you a little more revenue.
Very cool. What's the third topic?
Yes. So you need a really, really good, intriguing title. So if you think about this, if you see a course that says how to lose weight, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, we all probably want to lose weight. Okay, fine. But if you see a course that says how to help moms who have just had a baby lose those 15 pounds of baby weight in 10 weeks, that's going to resonate with a certain group or a certain audience. So I really like to have my course creators, let's really dial in on what could be a fantastic title for you, and making sure that it's something that everybody goes, ooh, how's she doing that? How's he coming up with that? How's that going to work? That really
Yeah.
pulls people in.
Because you do lean in. It's like, oh, because first you have the audience, and then you have what you're going to help them with and the result. So it's all in one. It's very cool.
Yes, yes. So getting that title figured out, and it's not always the first thing you think of. So I have kind of a two-step process that I work people through. We sort of start with, this is kind of the basic language, and then let's take that to the next level and zhuzh it up and make it even more intriguing. So
Cool.
yeah.
And then the fourth tip?
Yes, is so the tech does not have to be difficult or hard to do. I know this, a lot of people get hung up on, oh my gosh, all this technology and all these tools, and I just don't know if I can do this. And I have some ideas on keeping it much, much simpler. I tell even some of my folks, I'm like, you know what? You don't even have to have video really for a course. You don't. If you're an author and you like to write, you can start your first course with written lessons.
Yeah.
And actually, there was a podcasting course that I went through that they had some video, but they also had these really fantastic, what I call Cliff Notes versions for each lesson. And so it would be a summary of the content. And it wasn't a transcript, but it was a summary of, here's what I taught you in this lesson, and then here's your homework. And it was so fantastic that I have all my course creators doing this now, because you're going to get students in your courses that they may have some experience already. So if they can look at those cheat sheets and they can see, oh, this is what this lesson is about, they might be able to skip it. So they're going to love you for that. So that's part of it. You can do just cheat sheets. You can also, all of us have been on Zoom, so we all know how to record on Zoom now. It's so much easier than it used to be with having to have cameras and everything. So if you do want to do video, Zoom is a really great way to go. And then there's a lot of different places where you can put your course, and some are easier than others. I've seen a couple of my clients, they use Facebook groups and put their course in there. So if that's what you need to get started, go for it. Let's get it going, get some sales, and then you can always hire somebody if you want to go put it someplace fancy after that.
Yeah, I think that's so important. It's the mindset shift that entrepreneurs and authors need to have, that oh, this is a challenge, but it doesn't have to knock you back. It can actually be something that when you shift your mind, oh, it's not that difficult, or maybe I need some help. But either way, it's completely doable and possible.
Yes. And that's where I like to, let's keep this simple. I want you to get this course done and get it out there. So that's part of what we go through with 24-hour course creators. I lay it all out and say, do this each hour. So we'll keep it as easy as possible. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's the last tip that you have for us?
So you need content that's really consumable in your course. And let me tell you a quick story for this one. So I sat down and I signed up for a Facebook course, Facebook ads. And the very first video that came up, first thing, it was a 90-minute video. And I went, oh. And I'm sure we've all done that. You sit down and go, oh, 90 minutes. I don't know. And then I got started in it, and she's like, okay, so this week we talked about pixels, and we talked about this, and we talked about that, and I showed you how to do this, and this was the intro video for the course. She hadn't taught us anything yet. So I think what she did is she took like a Facebook Live that she had done at some point and kind of threw that up as the beginning of her course. And I was like, yeah, not the way to do it. So we want to have like very consumable content. So under 10-minute videos, people are like, give me that endorphin hit when I could click that button and said, done, I watched the video.
Yeah.
So keeping it short, consumable, those Cliff Notes really help with that for people who can maybe skip a few lessons here or there that they already know. I really like it when we put together a course that people like to go through. You don't want to make it painful for your students.
Oh, that's so important. So you have a challenge coming up next week. So tell us more about that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. It's the first time we've done this. It's going to be great. We're doing the topic and title challenge for a rock star course. So the goal is by the end of the week, you figure out which topic out of the 50 bazillion ideas that you have
Yeah.
for a course. We pick one that we're going to work on, and then we help you figure out the title that will pull people in and get you started, kind of that working title to get going with. So I'm keeping it really short. There's going to be a version. If you only have 15 minutes a day, just do that. It'll move you forward. Yeah. There's a longer version if you want to dig in a little bit more, but the 15 minutes to get people started so that by the end of the week, they're really excited about their online course and what all is going on, and kind of get motivated like, oh, this isn't going to be so hard to do.
Really cool. So what's like the minimum amount of time that people can spend every day and still move forward?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm really forcing myself. I'm doing that Steve Jobs thing. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what's the minimum that they have to do? So we got the workbook done a couple days ago, and I give like, here's fill in the blanks, spend 15 minutes and move yourself forward on your course.
Oh, that is awesome. So yeah, that starts next Monday, June 7, and it goes to the what date? June 7 to
so the 5 days ends on Friday, and then we're going to have a couple master classes over the weekend. So if people want to jump in with some more secrets and things that they can learn. And then after that, I'm actually going to start the 24-hour course creator. So anybody who wants to continue, this is a great strategy, I think, for anyone who's trying to pull people into your stuff. You give away a free opportunity to work with you. If they like it, if they have a good time, they'll continue. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So is anything else that you'd like to leave us with as we wrap up?
So I just want to thank all your creators and your authors for jumping into the creation pool, because I truly, truly believe that we can change the world with books and courses and the things that we can share. We really, creators are the ones who are helping and really getting out there. And so that's kind of where my passion is. I believe we can make the world a better place with all the things that we can help people do. So thank you so much for introducing me to your audience. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Because really, people who spend that much time dedicated to a book, they're change makers. They're putting their heart and soul into something that they believe in and that can help other people. So this is awesome that you're putting this together and giving people the techniques and tools that they can amplify their message. Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate you having me in your group.
Thank you. Take care.
You too. Thanks.